Good afternoon. Bob Dalton coming to you from Allendale's trading floor here in McHenry, Illinois. It is Monday, August 2nd. Funds were in here buying once again, and they were buying their favorite grain. That is the wheat. Aggressively last night, pulling the corn and the beans off of their lows for the overnight session, causing them to run higher into the close of the overnight electronic, and of course, creating some excitement down in the pits this morning in Chicago. And when the pits opened up at 9:30, they were buying everything that wasn't nailed down. As the day went on, we started to see a little resistance come into play in the grain markets. There was a lack of selling, but there was a lack of wanting to buy at those higher levels as well. So they stepped it down a little bit. Your bid started lowering up, and more selling was coming into the market. In larger quantities, I should say. There's always buying and selling to move the price, but you started to see your ask sizes step up and push these markets lower, actually in the corn market, into the close. So what happened here today, when it was all said and done, we had corn settle up at 390.5, down 2 1/4 on the day. That's 13.5 off of the highs. Soybeans up 3/4 of a point at 1053 1/4. That's about 20 points off of their high. And then wheat in Chicago finishing up 31 3/4. 693 1/4 is where they settled at. However, that is 18 off of their high on the day. So we went up. We made some very aggressive highs early on in the session. The market, it didn't all happen at once. The pullback, the corn gradually set itself lower, and beans off their highs. It was a gradual happening. Wheat seemed resilient all day long, but finally did give up some of the gains as well. This all occurred while crude oil was higher on the day. Right now, crude in the electronics is trading at 81.42, up 247 on the day. We closed in the pits up above the 200-day moving average, which is sitting at 81.10. So 81.42 is where the market's at. We have gone ahead and taken out the 200-day moving average. For those of you who may use moving averages as resistance or support lines, that was looked at as resistance today. We closed above it. So we're looking at somewhere better than 82.50 would now be our next upside target, technically speaking. The dollar, on the other hand, down 62 right now at 81.02.5. The 200-day on the dollar is at 81.23. We've taken out that support to the downside. And what's really curious about this, you got the Dow right now trading over 200 points. You ask around, why is this happening? Well, it's because Bernanke came out and said the U.S. Recovery is not going as fast as they'd like to see it. It's a gradual recovery. So go ahead and sell the dollar. The economy's not in as good a shape as some of us may have thought it was. But does that mean buy the Dow? And does that mean go ahead and run crude oil up on the possibility of stronger demand off of all these bearish inventory reports we've had lately? I don't think so. So there has to be something else out there. Maybe it'll uncover itself here soon enough. Maybe the funds are now in the crude oil a little heavier than they have been as well. Could that mean the end of the grain run here? Time will tell us. We have to wait and see. I'm not buying the fact that the economy is not recovering at the speed we'd like to see it, so go ahead and buy the Dow and buy crude. Just my opinion. Go ahead and call me if you have comments. 800-262-7538. Over to the livestock. Cattle today, feeling the pinch from the higher corn price. Corn in its session today, getting up over 415, 418 being the high today in December anyhow. We did see some pressure come in to the feeder market specifically, and the fat cattle are still reeling from the lower cash prices last week, $2 lower in the cash trade. So live cattle today finishing down 47.5, 92.17.5. Feeders down 112.5 at 112.60, and your hog market up 107.5 today at 86.90. So that wraps up the markets here that Allendale cover on a daily basis for our producers and those who hedge with us. If you have questions about the soft market, we had outside days down today technically on sugar, coffee. Those are the two I saw. We have a gentleman in the office here who does cover short technical commentary. He'd be more than happy to talk to you. And any other markets out there that we do trade and keep an eye on, feel free to give us a call. We'd be more than happy to go into more detail with you on that as well. Phone number again, 800-262-7538, or you can visit us on the website, www.allendale-inc.com. Thank you very much, and have a great trading week.